And we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah. That's the rumor.
Yeah. Live, there you are.
People probably hear some as it goes up through my manly, hairy chest.
Jeez. There's not a fur ball on it, is there?
Yeah, that's how I clean myself. Cleaning my chest here and stuff. All right. It's getting settled in here, folks. I had to declip and reclip and all that sort of stuff. And right now, people are just like, yeah, dude, I see your mouth moving, but you ain't saying nothing. We'll get this going in just a second.
Hi, SM Cedillo and Prim Pal 8.
Check, check, check. 1, 2. All right, there we go. Man, I'm telling you, it sucks. Like when you do the same thing you're supposed to do, and this stuff is like supposed to be working, and you go and do the same thing, and all of a sudden you get these error messages like, dude, what's up, man? What's up? You know, enemy trying to mess up my game.
For sure. Every time we take a step, like the devil tries to just block every move.
Right, just be sticking out his hoof, man. His hoof, that's right. Be sticking out his hoof to be tripping us, man. I'm telling you, man. The Lord's gonna break it off. The Lord's gonna break it off, saying, man, you go ahead and keep playing around. you gonna get hit hard. What's up, y'all? And you know, hopefully I've got some folks coming in from Facebook. Another example of the enemy trying to get in the way of what it is that we're trying to do. Since Facebook went ahead and cut me off because they were so offended, right? I thought, homosexuals and liberals were supposed to be fierce.
Right.
You know, they're fierce and they can take on the world and they can handle anything. They can handle anything except you questioning them.
Yeah. Or telling them what the word of God says.
Right. And you know, it's like what you took what I said as hate speech, man. Let me be clear, because right now, the whatever brand that the Lord blesses me to have, whether it be Bronze Serpent Media, the ZOpium Den, Zoloft 20-pound sledge. It's like I said in my video, man, we don't answer to hate. We answer to the one who instructs us to love.
Amen.
And wherever I'm coming from in terms of like the LGBTQ, liberals in general, all that sort of stuff, man, I don't come from a place of hate with that. Hate is not worth my emotional investment.
Right.
I ain't got time for it. All right. You know, so where and if anybody is trying to, you know, maybe like, you know, use whatever I say or anything like that to say that, to say mean-spirited things about, you know, homosexuals or liberals or, you know, these feminists and all that sort of stuff, you know, pray about it first.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, we don't come from a place of mean-spiritedness, man, to these people got their own hangups. They're gonna take what we say as mean-spirited anyway, but I don't want to give them the fuel to do it. All right. I got my disagreements with it. I don't agree with the lifestyle. I flat out say that it is an opposition. It is a rebellion against the laws of nature. Mm-hmm. It's a rebellion against the laws of God. But I don't want to use hate as my instrument. I have no interest in that. You know, and unfortunately, you know, and there are some people, you know, that kind of like they come off that way and disagreeing with these people. It's like, yo, man, we don't have to do that. You know, it's not necessary. And it just gives them, you know, the fodder to say that, you know, to call, you know, to make the claim against us.
Yeah, true.
So we don't want to do that. But you know, the thing is, and they're the ones who show themselves that the ones who are full of hate is them. You know, they can't handle disagreement. You know, they can't. At the end of the day, the ones who will be seeking extermination for others is them.
Yes.
You know, the ones who are actually full of phobia is them.
Yeah.
All right. It's not us. It's like, yo, we're not afraid of y'all. We're just warning y'all. We're just telling you that your lifestyle is unclean.
Yeah.
You know, and it causes problems.
It's dangerous.
Right. It's physically dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's mentally dangerous. It's emotionally dangerous.
Yep.
You know, these people who are sexually confused and, you know, confused about their sexual orientation and all that sort of stuff, these people be committing suicide.
Yeah.
And a big part of why is because they won't let them, you know, society has deemed it where they can't talk to us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially in California.
Right? You can't talk to them because it's so interesting. It's so interesting. Why don't you want Christians? Why don't you want Christians to talk to these people? Because you're trying to change them. Wait a minute. I thought that was their whole objective, was to be changed.
Right?
That's what they're trying to do. They're flat. It's like, look at what they're trying to do. They're taking flipping hormones. They're having these deep surgery, these deep invasive surgeries to do what? Change themselves. But you're mad at us because you think that we're trying to change them? No, dude, we're trying to get them to actually accept who they are.
Yeah, amen.
As God created them. See, they're going to go through all this crap. They're going to go through all this surgical crap, all this hormonal crap to try to convince their mind and their body that there's something else, when all we're trying to do is simply remind them. Simply remind them. Not convince them, but remind them of what they actually are. You a man. You a woman. It's as simple as that. You're the one trying to make it complicated.
Yes.
You know? So, and when these people go through these changes, they try to go through these changes, they find that they've gone through all this to be what? Unfulfilled.
Absolutely.
They're miserable. They've gone through all this thinking that they're going to find some sort of solace and find some happiness and joy in mutilating their bodies. And then they find out that they've gone through that and they're miserable. They're empty.
Yes.
Empty people. And then they, rather than when the surgeon's knife can't do anymore, they take a knife themselves and they take it to their wrist.
Yeah.
All right. So, but we Christians are the bad guys because we're trying to let them know there ain't no fulfillment in that.
Yeah.
There ain't none. The only way is the Lord. That's it. You know, and maybe that sounds shallow to people. Well, there's got to be other ways. There's got to be other philosophies. There's got to be other religions and all that sort of stuff. There's got to be some other way. Y'all, I'm telling you, there ain't.
Yeah, the word says the Bible is a stumbling block. The cross is a stumbling block to those who are perishing.
Right? So, you know.
But we still got to try.
Yeah, we got to try. You know, we're not trying to, cause any hangups with these people and stuff like that. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to tell them the truth, not judging them.
No.
Right? Not judging hypocritically. People want to take it as judgment, and we'll try to invoke the word of God saying, Jesus says not to judge. It's like, man, you got to take that thing in full context. Jesus also says to rebuke the sinner, doesn't he? Oh, you guys forgot about that. Jesus says to rebuke the sinner. We're called to correct, tell people the truth. It's like, look, man, this is against God's ordinance of nature, man. You might not want to do that. Oh, you going to do that anyway? Okay, whatever. Okay, fine. Well, you go ahead and do you. That's cool. But please do not make it a law where I have to abide by your delusions.
Amen.
That's all. Go ahead and do you. That's whichever. I dust my sandals off. I'm gonna ease on down the road. But when you want to try to make your sins the ruling document over me, we gonna have a fight.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen. I answer to the Most High. I answer to the supreme judge of the world, not you. So now when these people can't handle that, that is when they will be making laws to take your guns, right? To take your guns, to make an example of you if you try to defend yourself, to make examples of you when you question their behavior and all that sort of stuff. Y'all, come on now. You do realize that Sodom, I'm gonna repeat it again, Sodom and Gomorrah, the Disneyland for homosexuals and all kind of anything that you want to do sexually. Yeah. Right? They had, they had their pride parades too. Okay. They was out there dancing to the Village People and Frankie Goes to Hollywood and all that sort of stuff. Sodom and Gomorrah, they like to have them a good old hootenanny of homosexuality. All right. That's what they was all about. But strangely enough, they were the most oppressive city on the block. Yeah. The nations that surrounded them were terrified of them because that's how oppressive these people were. Crazy. They were crazy perverts.
And these were godless nations that surrounded them that were crying out to God. The
nations that they were heathens themselves, and even they were just like, you know what? Do Sodom and Gomorrah, man, they didn't gone off. God If you're up there, can you please do something about this? Because these people, so y'all don't get it twisted. These homosexuals, they can go off on you. All right? Don't underestimate them just because they got a limp wrist, okay?
Stop.
Don't underestimate them just because they wear makeup and all that sort of stuff. That makeup will turn to war paint. They'll scratch your eyes out.
Yeah.
They will cancel out your vote. They will cancel out your vote. They will bypass the ballot and they will take it to these activist judges and they will sue the public for what it is that they want and then turn around and tell you that your vote don't count.
Yeah.
That's what they do. All right? They will ruin your livelihood.
Yes.
And if we're not careful and we don't dig into the word of God and know what's coming, we will be the next to be the subjects of a so-called cultural revolution. Right? These are the terms that they use when they marched people into the re-education camps, executed people by the millions, like Mao Zedong, upwards of 65 million people butchered, right? You're going to do this our way? No, bang, they dead.
Oh my God.
You're going to worship Jesus? Oh, we'll just go ahead and march you guys out of the church. You make a choice. You're going to obey the state or you're going to worship your God. Well, I want to worship God. Bam, dead.
Yeah. That's
how this stuff goes down. This has happened all throughout history. You think that can't happen to us? Come on now. And they're doing it right now, especially in this election season, silencing us. They kicked me off of Facebook for what? Telling the truth. I can't talk to my folks anymore, right? Because these bigoted KKK Democrats can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
They especially don't like the truth coming from somebody like me.
Amen.
All right? Because I ain't brain chained to them. I'm not shackled to their narrative. They can't keep me on their plantation. So they got to silence me. But y'all, what's it going to take? What's it going to take? You know, we've been trying to, taper all this time. Y'all, we've been in their backyard. The devil is the prince of the power of the air. We're using everything that this is all his stuff. Why do you think the Lord says, he says, the birds have nests, foxes have dens, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. Y'all think about that for a second. The Lord is letting y'all know, it's like, I created the earth. I created the heavens and the earth. It's all mine. But even on the place that I created, I got no place to lay my head. You can't make a dwelling for me. You can't make a dwelling for me. No human hands can make my temple. Right? But interesting enough, even though this is all mine, the Lord is saying, and that relates to us. Look at what we got. This republic that we've been blessed with. The founding fathers, they wouldn't recognize this place.
Yeah.
They would be like, dude, there's no place for us here. There's no place for us. And we established this republic. Yeah. Where can we go?
For sure.
The founding fathers, man, they get sued. They would get sued today. Right? They would get sued. And being that we are follower of the Christ, we can say the same thing. Birds have nests, foxes have dens, but we don't have any place to lay our head, man. Where can we broadcast from? We're not at home. Yeah. YouTube, we're in enemy territory. Yep. There's no place for us to lay our head here. Facebook, right? Ain't no place for us to lay our head. Twitter, ain't no place for us to lay our head. We're in enemy territory.
Yeah. We're in their house. I mean, honestly.
We're in their domain. But y'all, but at the same time, man, enjoy it while you can. We're lucky that this is how bad, because people are getting they're getting hacked up.
Yeah.
In other parts of the world for being a Christian. They're getting chopped up.
Yeah.
Shot, butchered, tortured.
Yeah.
Right? That stuff hadn't gone away. We don't mess around, y'all. We can end up being just like a third world nation. Because when the word of God is removed, y'all, when we don't have the freedom, when we don't have the freedom to speak the gospel, y'all, that's when tyranny, will definitely turn to torture.
Yeah.
I don't think it can't happen here. It can. Y'all just bear in mind, over in the Middle East, over that continent of Africa, that's where paradise started. That's where the Garden of God was. Yeah. It was paradise there. Look at it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else in America, this is paradise. This was the best the world was going to get. Everybody, they risked their lives to come here, to the good old USA. All right, this is as good as it can get. You don't think that this can't turn into a wasteland? Sure it can. So,
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
We're gonna come full circle in America.
So anyway, y'all, we hope that you'll keep us in your prayers, that that we don't get silenced out completely. And I hear folks, they say, well, go to and thank you guys for the suggestions. Of course I appreciate the suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. It's like, I don't think that some people understand how deep shadow banning goes. Okay, shadow banning goes deep, because I get people saying a lot, go to Gabai. Okay, when you say go to Gabai, I want you to, or go to Codius and stuff like that. Y'all, this is how deep shadow banning is. I've been on Gabai and Codius for years. And if you're telling me to go there, that means that you don't know that I'm already there.
Oh. Right?
You don't see me. My engagement on those platforms are virtually zero. So it's trying to get my audience to move from Facebook. See, the thing is conservatives need to admit that they like being on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just where they are.
All our friends and family are there.
Right?
Like everybody else in America.
It's one of the reasons why Donald Trump is on Twitter, because mostly everybody's on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's why Donald Trump is there, because Donald Trump understands that, yo, man, if I'm going to speak to the people, I need to go to where they are. And they're on Twitter. Yep. And we got conservatives, so-called conservatives, telling Donald Trump to not tweet. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you tell Donald Trump to not tweet? Don't people want a president who communicates with them? Yes. Right? And Donald Trump is the only way that he can actually get what he says out there, because the mainstream media is going to twist everything that he says.
Yep.
So Donald, it's like, and by the grace of God, Twitter hasn't canceled his account. I know they tried.
Yeah, they did try.
Yeah, they tried. It's like, yo, man, put that back. Okay? But it's like, because hey, I may be president, but I still got freedom of speech too.
Yeah.
All right. So, but that's why Donald Trump is there. Why? Because everybody else is there. And to try to get, like, say, for instance, like myself, move over. It's like, do people tell, hey, Donald Trump, go to Gabai, you won't be censored there? Donald Trump ain't gonna do that. Are people following Trump on Gabai like they're following him on Twitter? No.
Yeah.
And he's a president. You think he's gonna move his audience over to Gabai? No. So I don't have a snowball chance in Hades, hot Hades, right? To move my audience over to Gabai. It ain't gonna happen, y'all.
Yeah.
This is not. Moving them over to Codius, it's not gonna happen. Okay, my audience is not going to follow me over there. It doesn't work like that for content creators. All right,
that's true.
There might be some rare exceptions, but it's like I said, when people are saying you should go over there, that proves my point. I've been over there, but you don't know that I'm there, because that's how deep shadow banning goes. Mm-hmm. It's not just about the platforms, y'all. It's the social media platforms, y'all. It's about the search engine also. And Google, it doesn't matter if it's Google, doesn't matter if it's DuckDuckGo, doesn't matter if it's Bing. When you go to research, all the left-wing stuff is going to come up first.
Yeah, true.
Okay, but especially Google, since Google is the most widely used, Google has taken me out of discovery. You can't, if you don't know who I am, you ain't gonna find me on Google. You pull up any other commentator and stuff like that, and you'll always get cross references for them. My name never comes up because Google has wiped me out of those.
Yeah.
All right. So, and when they wipe you out, and Google and Facebook and all that sort of stuff, they got their tentacles tied in to all these other social media platforms. They're all tied in, y'all. They'll wipe you out, erase you.
Yeah, they will erase you. That's virtually pretty much what they've done to you.
Yeah, and
it's bizarre.
And y'all, I'm telling you, when they do that online, it makes you a phantom in the real world.
Yeah.
Right? All the stuff that old school stuff that you used to do. If people can't confirm that you exist online, then you don't exist.
Yeah.
Right? They don't care about your stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They don't care. You remember back in the day, you used to be able to hand out flyers and hand out CDs and all that sort of stuff. People don't even care. They don't want them. Right? It's like no, give me this. And if they can't find you online, or even if they've heard of stuff that you might be involved in, that you should have been involved in, they don't know you. Right? I can go to different Republican functions and stuff like that, where it's like at one time, I couldn't even walk into a building 2 feet without people knowing who I am. Now, it's like, can you tell me where I can get something to drink? It's pretty much like that.
It is like that,
right? Oh my God! I mean, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Even what was his name? Howard Dean. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to call it like it is, y'all. I'm gonna have to call it like it is. Howard Dean says, what did he say? When you go to these Republican functions and only black people that you see there are the help, y'all, I became that guy.
You literally did.
I literally did.
Yep, because of the shadow banning.
Because of the shadow banning. I could be at a Republican function. Nobody. I'm actually there to set up tables and stuff. That was me. That became me. That's what happened for me trying to help out with the conservative movement. Yeah. Right. So, and, and everybody, anybody can fall, can fall from their platform. It can happen to anybody. Right. But here's the thing, y'all. Before Democrats say, see, I told you so. It's like, no, Democrats, you're the ones who stuck your foot out and tripped me and made me fall. Okay. Mm-hmm. So don't try to make like, oh, I'm supposed to be on the conservatives' mind like 24/7, like they're always supposed to be. No, dude, I'm not that special. Nobody is. All right. So don't even try to get it twisted, Democrats. The position that I'm in right now is because of you.
Exactly.
Because of your bigotry. Because of your cowardice. All right. So that being said, now what else? Anyway.
Can I sidetrack you a little bit? You were talking about, the tyrants who murdered people who didn't believe or didn't go along with their plans, like Mao Zedong and Stalin.
Right.
So Trader Raid said, I agree, but opium sounds like dopium. And I'm not sure I really understood his comment, but I think he's kind of wondering why ZOpium. Can you explain how you came to that?
Dopium. I like that too. Okay. ZOpium is, of course, a play on my name, Zo, and opium. All right. So I put the words together. ZOpium. That's how I got ZOpium. But why did I choose that? Because as the adage goes, religion is the opiate of the masses, right? So part of why it's called the ZOpium Den. This is a place where you come in and you chill, right? And we're going to load up that holy hookah, and we're going to breathe deep of the gospel. ZOpium Den. But the thing is, y'all, that as it said, the religion being the opiate of the masses, y'all, we're not here to speak religion. That's the whole point of it. That's why it's kind of like making a mockery of this idea that people need to depend on religion for fulfillment or anything like that.
Karl Marx say religion is the opiate of the masses?
I want to say it was Karl Marx, but for some reason it's escaped me right now. Of course, you can Google it. Right?
Unless if they've hidden that.
But the whole thing is that religion is not the thing that fulfills you. Right? It's not going to take some religion. It's not going to take some artificial means to fulfillment. It's Jesus himself. Jesus is the way. So when I say the ZOpium Den, it's kind of like making a mockery of the idea that religion will fulfill you, or religion will be some sort of euphoria or something to satisfy you. It's not. It's fake, and you can OD on it too. You don't want to do that. And we're here to remind folks that the Lord is the way, the truth, and the life, just like he said.
Yes.
Right? So that's the ZOpium Den.
I wish I could react to these comments. All the comments are great, but I don't know how to like or happy face or any of these comments.
And as usual, y'all, please forgive me if I don't I'm thankful that you guys are coming in. If I don't respond as you guys are coming in, I derail really easy. I got that ADD. So I'll lose my train of thought like that, man. It's like trying to be like all polite and cordial in the host with the most and all that sort of stuff. But I am grateful that you guys come in and so thankful to you. And by the way, and speaking of which, check my beard. My beard looks good. Right? That's our Arcadian Buffalo stuff. That's we got my buddy. If you guys look her up on Facebook, where I'm cut off.
Yeah, where you can't.
Arcadian Buffalo. She's got those. If you got your man, or if you are a man, hopefully, and you know that you're a man, right? Your beard can look good like this, right? And get that beard oil. Right? And don't forget to check out Stars and Stripes Forever Pack, y'all. All right, they're supporters of mine, and I've been doing some work with them. Trying to connect the message, run interference on the crap that the Democrats are telling, whether it's the Black demographic, Latino demographic, female demographic, all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
We're trying to run interference on them,
yes,
and tell them what the deal is. So Stars and Stripe Forever PAC, hope you support their efforts as well. As, go on there, show them some love, y'all. Just at least leave a comment and say that Zo sent you. At least do that, just to let them know that people are supporting what they're doing.
Amen.
We'll be on Jason Telfer's show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look him up on Facebook, Jason Telfer, Telfer. Look him up, and we'll be talking with him tomorrow. Let's see. So what else?
Well, these three mentions, these are just good, godly Christian conservatives, like Stars and Stripes Forever PAC,
right.
Arcadian Buffalo Soap, and Jason Telfer.
You know how
we just want to support each other.
That's right. So
let's just support each other and get people voting godly values in.
Right? Yeah, man. That's what it's about. Trying to build this army, man. Get out there and rock the gospel.
Amen. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about any current events, or are you ready to get into the reading?
Man, we need to read, man. We need to get some good vibes going up in here in the ZOpium Den.
Get the word of God in.
Got me agitated, irritated. Right? It's time to talk about some good stuff, man. That's where the word of God comes in, because it's all good.
Amen. To everybody who's asking, yes, please keep us in prayers, and we're still waiting for the tyrants at Facebook to give us their judgment.
Because it breaks my heart, because people be trying to support, and I've been trying to let people know. It's like, look, I'm trying to get that content out there, but you see it, right? You see me getting blocked off on for YouTube. They've held me in the 70,000s, y'all. 70,000 subscribers. I've been inside the 70,000s for the past 5 years. They won't let it grow, right? Same thing for Twitter. I've been inside the 30,000 followers on Twitter for the past 5 years. They won't let it grow.
Yep.
Facebook, over 100,000 followers. I've been inside the 100,000s, between 100 and 110,000 on Facebook for the past 5 years. They won't let it grow, right? So you guys know that when you sponsor, I thank you guys so much for who sponsor my work, who believe, what the Lord has given me to do. I'm trying, and they're trying just as hard, to keep me silent.
Yeah, they sure are.
Right. So I hope you guys know that I ain't dragging my feet.
Yeah.
Right. And not trying to do nothing, that I'm just laying down and I'm taking it and just threw in the towel and stuff like that, because I know that's what they want me to do. They want me to quit.
They do. Yeah.
Right. So, but I haven't quit. They be trying to say that, oh, you're paid off by some, weapons or some oil company or something like that, and trying to say that I'm paid off, to do this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And it's like, oh, really? If I was getting that much money, you'd think my production values would be a heck of a lot better.
Right.
Right. I'd be doing way more than this if I was getting so much money to say this sort of stuff. So no, it's not like I'm being paid off to say, but if I quit, y'all, that would prove they would take that as proof that I was just doing it sort of for the money, right? But since they can't prove that, and I haven't quit, that's why they try to just keep me silent.
Yeah.
Hoping that I'll quit. It's like no, I ain't quitting that easy, right? So
next time these rascals accuse you of being some shill for some rich Republicans, send them a picture of one of our cars and say, we're getting paid off when we drive these.
I know, right? It's like, I'm paid off. Huh? Okay. All right. I guess, they say the Republicans have all the money. I'm like, oh, no. It actually seems to be proving that Democrats are the ones with all the money.
Yeah,
they're the ones with all the money.
They literally are.
Right?
Yeah. Statistically speaking, they are.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, y'all. Let's do it. Let's get the high priest.
What chapter are we doing?
And King. We're on Acts 23. We get the Holy Spirit. If we can be so humble as to welcome him into the ZOpium Den, to oversee our study. Lord, we rely on you for the truth.
Yes.
Your word is the first and the last, and may it only be spoken here today. We trust in you to help us to be effective salt and light, fruitful for your glory. Help us walk and talk in your way and be inspirational to folks. As inspirational as I guess we are as an irritant, and salt can be both. Salt can be very tasty and make things very craveable, but it can be an irritant too. And unfortunately, sometimes salt, it stings some people. It usually stings the most wounded people. They got open wounds and the salt gets in that wound and they get stung by it. But Lord, that's not what we're trying to do. And we know that your motivations and your intentions are pure and they are the best intentions.
Yes.
And your result is proven.
Yes, Lord.
You are the proven result. So we just want to put that to work for you, Lord, and do our best to preserve this republic and the freedoms that you bless us with as long as you can until you say so.
Yes.
In Yeshua's name.
In Yeshua's name. Amen.
All right. Acts 23, y'all. Let's do it. Paul, looking intently at the Sanhedrin, and Sanhedrin basically means the council. All right. Looking at the Sanhedrin, said, brothers, I have lived my life in all good conscience for God up to this day. Now let me stop right there. When he says that he's lived in good conscience for God up to this day, y'all, that's reflecting on something like John 16:2, when it says, I have told you these things so that you will not fall away. They will put you out of the synagogues. In fact, a time is coming when anyone who kills you will think he is doing it as an offering, as a service to God. They will do these things because they have not known the Father or me. So Paul is basically, he's reflecting on that. He thought that what he was doing it because he's like, I'm doing this for God. Paul's out there imprisoning people, beating up people, killing people. He thought he was doing it for God. We got people doing that today.
Amen.
Right? Muslims, Nazis, KKK. Have people who's out there, thinking that, they're doing this in service for God.
Yeah.
And their whole worldview is convoluted anyway. Right? Nazis were occultists. KKK were pagans. Right? All the same stuff. Islam, they pagans too. Right?
Yes.
So, but they, people will try, especially with the left-wing narrative, the secular narrative, the godless narrative, they'll try to say that it's all the same God anyway. It's all the same God.
Yeah.
Right? No, it ain't. Okay? So let's see. Lived in good conscience for God up to this day. But the Kohen Gadol, Ananias is going to mean God has been gracious, ordered those standing by him to strike him in the mouth. Go hit you in the mouth, Paul. Right? So they're going to hit Paul in the mouth. Now, and actually, I don't know if they struck him in the mouth or not. I don't know if they actually got to, because Paul spoke up really quick. Right?
Okay.
I don't know if they hit him or not. Then Paul said to him, God is going to strike you in the mouth. Now, I don't know if that was like, hold up, before you do that, I'm going to let you know this is God, but put your hand down. Put your hand down, because God going to strike you in the mouth, right? Or I don't know if it was like, bam. Oh, no, man, God is going to strike you in the mouth for that. I don't know, how that went down, right? I mean, we know that Paul took some licks, but in this instance, I don't know, right? Then Paul said, God is going to strike you in the mouth, on the mouth, you whitewashed walls. Okay. Let's see. Hold up. Now, as this is going down, y'all, let me read this whole thing. Paul said they're going to strike you in the mouth, you whitewashed walls. Do you sit judging me according to the Torah? And yet in violation of the Torah, you order me to be struck? Those standing nearby said, do you insult God's Kohen Gadol? And Paul said, I didn't know. I didn't know, brothers. I didn't know that he was the Kohen Gadol. He's being kind of sarcastic.
Okay.
He's being kind of sarcastic. I didn't know he was the Kohen Gadol. For it is written, you shall not speak evil of the ruler of your people. So Paul is being kind of sarcastic here. Why? Because Paul is basically saying, I didn't know he was the Kohen Gadol, because I'm here to tell you about the actual high priest. His name is Yeshua. And no, I don't insult him. Okay, no, I didn't come here to insult the high priest, and it ain't you, Ananias. It's Yeshua. That's who I came to tell you about. He is the real high priest.
Amen.
All right. So Paul's being kind of sarcastic.
Cool.
All right. So now let's back up a little bit. Let me see. They order to strike him in the mouth, and Paul says God is going to strike you on the mouth, knock all them teeth out, hit you in the mouth so hard your teeth gonna turn to dust. You gonna swallow that dust and fart a cloud of dust. Your fart gonna have some bite to it. They're like, what, man, your fart's got some bite to it. You see what I did there? Okay.
You're such a dork.
Dork. Okay, let me see. I lost my train of thought trying to be cute. Okay. God is he's gonna strike you in the mouth. You whitewash walls. Okay, so basically when it says you whitewash walls, just kind of paraphrasing here, the wording that's used in there is plastered, right? It's your plastered walls, meaning that you guys have an artificial covering, right? Oh, wow. You guys are basically cracked up walls. You're cracked up and you got holes. There's all sorts of holes in your religion. There's holes in your behavior, your continence. Everything about you is busted up, right? Wow. And you've got a plastering over you. You guys try to make yourselves look good on the outside, but you're all busted and cracked up on the inside. Whoa. Underneath that, you're cracked up. Okay, likened to the saying when they're called whitewashed sepulchres. Oh, right? Yeah. You look all nice. Your tombs are all pretty on the outside, but on the inside, you're dead man's bones. Yeah. Right? So Paul is basically saying that same thing to him, right? Wow. And let's see. And he says, do you sit judging me according to the Torah? Y'all, now this is hardcore, y'all. This is hardcore. Because Paul is going to tell them, Paul is basically telling them, you going to sit there and you going to abuse me? And you're going to judge me according to the Torah. All right. You guys do understand that you're holding me against my will, right? Because you're not charging me with anything. You haven't charged me with nothing. You have no legitimate charge against me, but you're holding me against my will. You know what that is? That's kidnapping. You do know that kidnapping is punishable by death, right? Every one of you in this room signed your death warrant according to the Torah. Right? You struck me. Now, I don't know if they struck me, but Paul did take some licks. Yeah, right? Sure did. And for every lick that he took, according to the Torah, they got to take the same licks. Burn for burn, bruise for bruise, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Whatever they hurt on Paul, they have to pay with the same. Because they have done this without due process of law. They kidnapped and abused him. So not only do they have to suffer the same licks, they got to be put to death too. Now, let's take that even deeper, because they did the same thing to Jesus. Amen. Yeah. Now, with Jesus, they kidnapped Jesus, held him for no violation, right? They even knew it. They knew it. Put an innocent man to death. They kidnapped Jesus, and they abused him, and then they killed him. And Jesus said, this generation right here, the blood that's on your head, gonna be like nobody else. But y'all, the thing about it is that the blood that's on their head is going to radiate through the generations to anybody who also rejects Christ to this very day. Because these were rejectors of Christ, right? Kidnapped him, abused him, they got to pay up. And anybody, when Jesus done gone to that cross, anybody who didn't accept the work of Jesus, who shares that same mentality, well, they're going to pay too. Hardcore, right? So here's the thing, y'all. But now we'll say that but when Jesus on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. That's right. He sure did. Yeah. Okay. Here's how this goes down. The same mindset and behavior that got Christ executed. God, who is just, so just, right? He is a just God. He's a merciful God. So upon the death of Christ, God is absolutely in his right to judge the earth at that moment. That's what he came to do. That's why the sky went dark, right? As the word says in the Old Testament, when the clouds gather over the world, God is about to judge the earth, right? So in this, God is about to judge. He's darkening the sky. He's getting ready to judge the earth. And Jesus is like, hold up, God, wait, his hand is there. He can't say that. Come on, Jesus, you know that was funny. No. Mm-mm. Right? Hey, Jesus he can pull that off at any time and just, Jesus got that off that cross and just manhandled Hades. It's like, boy, I'm coming to get you, man. Right? Just manhandled Hades. Took
his keys.
Right? So here's the deal. In God's mercy, God says, here's why this is why Jesus said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Because Jesus knows, right? He knows that even with this, he can understand. It's like, okay, I understand why you guys still don't get it. I understand why you know that people die. You see me being publicly executed. You expect, I'm a man, I'm gonna die. You still don't get it, right? Now, now I didn't come to y'all as God. You've seen me come to you on a cloud as a pillar of fire and a pillar of smoke and all that sort of stuff. You've seen me come to you. You've seen what I done in Egypt. You've seen me do these things throughout history. Okay, it's all right. You guys don't get it. You matter of fact, you've seen wonders done by other demons. You've seen sorcerers at work and stuff like that. Okay, so you guys may not think that I'm capable. The prophets before me have been able to do the same. You've seen, even though you've seen warlocks bested by my prophets, but you still may not be convinced because maybe you just think it was a stronger demon or something like that, right? Because it ain't like demons don't be at conflict with each other. It's stupid for them to do that. Jesus said it's stupid. It's a house divided cannot stand. But if you're not in truth, chances are your pride is gonna make you do stupid things.
Absolutely.
Right? But it doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make natural sense. But at any rate, Jesus can understand. It's like, okay, because even when Jesus came, they said the same thing. He does works by the power of Beelzebul. They thought that Jesus's powers were satanic. So all throughout history, it's hard for them to just, man, is it really God working here? And they're thinking that it may be something else. So when Jesus is up on the cross, he's like, okay, man, God, just hold up, man. Don't take him out just yet. Jesus is petitioning God just the way Moses did, right? Moses, same thing. God, don't take him out just yet, okay? Don't do it. So Jesus, right? Just like Moses, said, God, just hold on. Just forgive them. Just don't take them out just yet. Okay? In the mercy of Jesus, this is going to take a lot of levels. Remember, y'all, Jesus is going to take us to the very limits of our understanding before he says, you know what? There is no more. We're done here. All right? Jesus is going to go to that cross. Just as the prophecy showed up, he's going to be hung, right? It's like Jesus is like, oh, but they don't get it yet. They don't get it yet. Okay, next level. I'm gonna come back. I'm coming back from the dead, right? Jesus comes back from the dead. He's roaming around like 40 days. Over like 500 people saw him and stuff like that, testifying, right? People went to a bloody death, testifying about what they saw, right? But God understands. I know that may not be enough for some people, right? May not be enough. So what's next? We're gonna have this rapture. The dead are going to explode from the earth. Tombs are going to bust open. Dead is going to rise to meet the Lord in the air. Okay? You only see those who are dead who are going to be alive. Jesus is going to be like, but that's probably still not enough for some people. Right? Then those who are alive in Christ are going to vanish from the earth. Boom. Going to meet Christ in the air. Right? And then all of a sudden, ain't going to be nothing but unbelievers left. Right? Then next levels. But God's still like, they probably still don't get it. God, don't wipe them out yet because they don't know what they're doing. They still just might not get it. Right? Jesus is going to be coming back on that white horse. Right? Jesus is going to do things like come in and step down on Mount Island. It's going to split to let you know. It's like, yo, man, ain't nobody can karate kick a mountain like that. That must be God. Jesus will be like, no, they don't quite get it yet. No. Jesus is going to have a millennial kingdom. And even at the end of 1,000 years, people still ain't going to get it. Now they probably still don't. They don't quite understand yet. God, no, not yet, not yet. Right? Forgive them, Lord. They don't know quite what they're doing. All right. But then the ultimate, everybody's gonna get a brand new body, y'all. Everybody's gonna be made all nice and healthy in this new body. It's gonna be a body that's imperishable, y'all. It's gonna be a body that not defies, y'all. It'll be a body that's not subject to the laws of nature because we'll be supernatural. The bodies that we're going to have, y'all, they're not going to be subject to the law of entropy. We're not going to age anymore, right? Time won't have an effect on our bodies, right? We'll be above the law of gravity. Jesus had already showed that we'll be above the law of gravity because he walked on water, All right? So we'll be above the laws of gravity. We'll be able to fly, right? We'll be able to teleport. phase in, phase out. We'll be able to change the atomic structures of our body. Whatever it is that we'll be, I don't know if it'll be atomic or what. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll be able to like pop from one place to another because Jesus did. Jesus could be, they'll be sitting in a room and all of a sudden, boom, Jesus in there. So we'll be above the laws of whatever it is that constitutes matter, right? Time, because Jesus, when Jesus was walking on the water, and then he got in, they were miles from shore. Jesus got into the boat. And the second that he got into the boat, they were on shore. So Jesus did let us know that, yeah, you'll be above the laws of time too. We will not be subject to entropy. We will not be subject to the laws of gravity. Won't be subject to the laws of time and space. All that stuff, take it out. So basically, why am I saying this? Because Jesus is going to let us know that we're going to have brand new bodies. Everybody's going to get a brand new body. With that proof, Jesus is going to let you know, yeah, it was always me. You wanted to change, right? You wanted to change? Well, this is the ultimate change. You have a perfect new body. Now you see me. You can see me. What's your excuse now? You ain't got none. There is no more. And this is where the second death comes in. I have rescued you from death. You've already died once. You want to die again? Well, actually, you can't.
Amen.
But the second death is the eternal death, right? They will experience death forever. Why? Because now they have an imperishable body. See, that's the catch. See, it's like when Jesus, when he gives us all a new body, it's like, okay, man, what do you want to do with this new body? Do you want to reign with me in heaven for eternity, or do you want to do things your way? I want to do things my way. I got this new body. I want to do whatever I want to do. Okay, well, let me just go ahead and give you the fast track to where that leads. You're going straight to hell. All right? And your body will never, ever burn up. Never. Because you have a brand new imperishable body. It was a gift that you could have enjoyed heaven with. Amen. But you thought you were too good for me, right? And this is basically how this is going to work, y'all. This is how this is going to work. See, Jesus, you notice in the Old Testament, Jesus is the rear guard of God, right? When Moses passes by, when God says, yo, Moses, I'm going to pass you by, you'll see the back of me. When he passes by, that's the rear guard of God. That's Jesus. That's who Moses is able to see. That's who Moses is always talking to. He's talking to the pre-incarnation of Jesus, known as Melchizedek, right? The projection of God in human form. That's who Melchizedek is. That's who Moses could see, right? But he's in the Old Testament, he's referred to as the rear guard of God. But y'all in the New Testament, he becomes the foreguard, right? That's who you see. So in that white throne of judgment, when Jesus says that, when you see me, you see the Father, that's the aspect of God that you can see. You can see Jesus. That's who you can see. But for all intents and purposes, you are looking at God. Jesus is the signet of God, right? Everything about God rests in Jesus. So Jesus is going to be your intercessor. He's your priest. He's the one who talks to God for you, and he prophesies. He talks to you for God, right? But here's the thing. On that judgment day, if you decide that you can represent yourself in court, and everybody will tell you that representing yourself in court is not a good idea. You assume that you want to represent yourself in court. Jesus is going to be like this. I'm the foreguard of God. But if you want to represent yourself, I'm just going to do this. And when Jesus steps aside, that is when you will be exposed to the Father. And when you're exposed to the Father without the representation of Christ, internal incineration, because you'll be exposed to the full light of truth. And the thing is, the light of truth is life-giving. But without the covering of Christ, you just burn in it.
Yikes.
While your life is constantly restored. Perpetual life and death. You're just going to die over and over again in the lake of fire. Because what is Jesus referred to as? He's an eternal spring, right?
Yeah.
Eternal spring of water, ever flowing. The second death is known as the lake of fire, right? And who is but the Holy Ghost is referred to as fire, ain't he? Yeah. He is all of that. So when you're exposed to the full light of God, you will be exposed to this eternal spring, this eternal lake, this abyss, this eternal unending abyss of fire. Don't step out of line with Christ, y'all. When he comes to be your intercessor, take it.
Amen.
Take it.
Amen.
All right. So anyway, a little tangent there.
Please open minds and hearts, Lord. Wow.
Let me see. What was I at?
I don't know. You blew my mind.
Or media show. Those standing there. Oh, sorry. So those standing by said you insult God's Kohen Gadol. Yeah, we read that. But recognizing that one group was Sadducees and the other Pharisees, Paul began crying out in the Sanhedrin, "Brothers, I am a Pharisee, a son of Pharisees. I am on trial because of the hope of the resurrection of the dead." Okay, y'all, we're going to go deep again. You ready? This is an interesting thing. I think this is very interesting. Because, hold up, get my notes here. The reason why I think this is interesting is because you have these two factions, these basically political factions. You got your Sadducees, you got your Pharisees. Sadducees means the sons or the sons or descendants of Zadok. And Zadok means the righteous ones. Okay. Pharisees means set apart, separated. Okay. These are interesting titles for these guys, right? So let's start with Zadok and the Sadducees. It's weird because the Sadducees are descendants of Zadok. Zadok is a descendant of Aaron, and Aaron, of course, and Aaron and Moses, brothers, are descendants of Levi. Only Levites can be your priest, really, your high, and especially your high priest. And on a side note, the Pharisees, they're not really priests. And you might have like some research might render something different, y'all. But according to what I've been able to discover, the Pharisees themselves aren't priests. They're more like religious lawyers. Okay. They're your law writers and your law keeper, law enforcement, even, right? According to the religion. Your Sadducees, interesting enough, are your priests. They're the ones who are how can I say, meet the criteria to be priests because they are descendants of Aaron. Okay. So, but here's the thing that's interesting. It's all interesting, but I think it is. The Sadducees don't believe in angels, and they don't believe in the resurrection. Let me repeat that. Sadducees do not believe in angels. They don't believe in the resurrection. Meanwhile, they're the descendants of Aaron. And Aaron, Moses are brothers, descendants of Levi. Y'all, they were there when the angel of the Lord was doing things.
Yes.
Okay? The angel of the Lord appeared in the burning bush. Everything that they're keeping. The Sadducees, their job was to be able to recite these things.
Wow.
And account for these things, right? And be the priest according to these things. But they don't believe in angels.
Oh my.
The very reason why they're employed was because an angel appeared to Moses.
Oh my.
So it was and the law was given. The law was given in the witness of God's angels. Right? It was an angel that was sent with them to prepare a place for them. So it's strange that the Sadducees don't believe in angels.
Yeah.
Right?
A little shallow.
Now, Jesus is the one who called them out on this. They don't know. What did Jesus say? And this is where I get in trouble with fundamentalists, because they believe that the Nephilim and all that sort of stuff are evil, and that the sons of God are evil and all that sort of stuff. That's why Jesus called them out on it. Because and y'all, the reason why I'm bringing this up and I'm taking it to the Nephilim and all that sort of stuff is because of the resurrection, right? It's bad enough that they didn't believe in angels, but they didn't believe in the resurrection either. And Jesus, answering all their questions all at once, says to them, when the Sadducees tried to hit him with that question and tried to trap him concerning the woman being married 7 times, right? The woman was married 7 times, and they're like, who's she going to be married to? And what does Jesus say? Jesus told them, yeah, they'll be like the angels in heaven. They don't marry. Okay. Well, the Sadducees, one who don't even believe in angels, they should have called Jesus out on the spot for that, for being a fake. Because if they knew the law so well, which Jesus said that you don't know the scriptures. You don't know the scriptures at all. One, you don't believe in angels. Your whole livelihood is dependent on the activity of angels, right? So, but you guys are going to ignore all that. And then when I tell you that angels don't marry, you guys in your ignorance, you guys should have called me out and says, wait a minute, according to the scriptures, angels do marry, right? And then answering the resurrection, well, I myself, you guys don't believe in angels, huh? I myself am the angel of the Lord. I've always been the angel of the Lord. You don't recognize me, huh? Okay, that's cool. Well, the angels, just like me, this angel right here, I'm coming to snatch up my bride. All right? The angels back in Noah's day did the same thing. They went to the earth. They found beautiful women. They were motivated by them being beautiful, and they found them acceptable, and they snatched them away from the earth. They raptured them, basically, and had families with them. Okay? I'm the angel of the Lord. I am also going to come to snatch up my bride. Are you seeing the correlation here? Do you guys see how ignorant you are about what angels were doing? You don't even believe in angels, and you haven't studied angels. And if you had studied angels, you'd be able to recognize me, because I am the angel of the Lord. Right? So they missed all that stuff. Sadly. It's really sad, you see.
I knew you were going to say it.
All right.
You have to use that.
When he said this, a dispute broke out between the Pharisees and Sadducees, and the assembly was divided. For the Sadducees say there is no resurrection or angel, right? Angel or spirit. Interesting. But the Pharisees affirmed them all. Then there was a great uproar. Some of the Torah scholars of the Pharisees party stood up and protested sharply. We find nothing wrong with this man. What if a spirit or angel? What if? That's so general. What if a spirit or angel has spoken to him? It's like, man, you guys go. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll just, maybe we got a little bit of yardage with it. You just can't go the full 9 and understand it as God. It has to be some general spirit or,
right.
or. A big dispute was developing. The commander was afraid that Paul would be torn to pieces by them. Yeah, it got that violent, y'all. It got that violent.
Wow.
Right? They are of their father, the devil, and the sins of their father will do. And what is the devil referred to as? A roaring lion, he who can devour. And you know how lions do. They tear their prey apart.
Yeah.
Right? They come in, especially when they had them lions dens and throwing people lines and stuff like that.
Oh, Lord.
Lions rip people apart, man. Rip them apart. And that's what these people were like ferocious lions. Tear them apart. Would be torn to pieces by them. So he ordered the soldiers to go down and take them by force from among them and to bring them into headquarters. The following night, the Lord stood beside Paul and said, Kazak, be of courage. Why does God, of all things, why would Jesus say that? Because once again, he's referring back to the Old Testament. That was the song that was given to Moses.
Yes.
Kazak, take courage, right? So Jesus shows up. Kazak, homie. Hey, buck up, man. We still got some work to do. I'm going to be with you, man. I'm going to be with you. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to be with you. So Kazak, take courage.
I love that.
So, for just as you have testified about me in Jerusalem, so you must also testify in Rome. When it was day, the Judean leaders formed a conspiracy. They bound themselves to an oath not to eat or drink until they had killed Paul. See, basically, what were they? They were a mobocracy.
Yeah.
They were a lynch mob. If you want to say, it's like Jude, man, back them Judeans, man, they were a lynch mob deluxe, y'all. And the thing is, they were hood, man. They were just straight hood because it was against Roman law for them to execute people. They was doing it anyway.
Yeah.
They executed people. They snatched them out of their homes, stoned them to death, right? But it was against the law. and weird because when you think about the brutality of Roman punishment, you would think like, well, why would Romans make it against the law for the Jews to have a death penalty? right? And we've talked about this before. The reason why I was against the law, y'all, is because for Jews, the Jews put people to death for things that the Romans enjoyed, right? If Romans wanted to, Romans like, what's the problem with working on your so-called Sabbath? If I want to work, if I want to go down to a bathhouse and get my freak on or something like that, I want me a prostitute to be working. All right, I want her working. Don't try to tell me there ain't nothing wrong with that. Talk about putting me to death, put you to death, right? So, but the Jews were putting people to death for stuff like that. Okay, homosexuality. Well, Romans enjoyed homosexuality, right? They like that stuff. So if they want to get their freak on with the same sex, you better not have anything to say about it. But the Jews put people to death for stuff like that. Okay. And so the Romans was just like, okay, you know what? If you're going to be under our rule, and you are, you can't be putting people to death for that. We're going to take the death penalty away from you. I don't care what your law says. But they would do it anyway. So Paul was just like, man, you guys are just lawless, man. You don't respect the law of the Torah. You don't respect Roman law. You guys are just lawless, and Jesus calls us out for that, being lawless, right? So anyway, that's why it was the Jews had the death penalty stripped from them. As a big dispute was developing, I read that already. The following night, read that already. Sorry.
You're too excited.
All right. When it was day, the Judean leaders formed a conspiracy. I read all that too. Man, until we go. Okay, we haven't eaten nothing. We're not going to eat nothing until we kill Paul. So now you and the Sanhedrin serve notice to the commander to bring him down to you, like you were about to investigate his case more thoroughly. But we are ready to kill him. We're going to kill this fool, man. And before he comes near. But the son of Paul's sister heard of their ambush. He went into the headquarters and told Paul. Paul called one of the centurions and said, look here, man, can you take this young man to the commander, for he has a message for him. So the centurion took him and led him to the commander and said, this prisoner called Paul, called me and asked me to bring this young man to you, as he has something to say to you. The commander took him by the hand, stepped aside, and said, you like movies about...
Oh, jeez.
Come on, that fits so perfectly. That fit perfect.
Okay, you have to explain to people what you're doing.
I don't have to explain about airplane. Everybody knows about that famous cockpit scene.
The movie, yes.
You like movie? You like movie about gladiator?
Jeez.
You ever seen a grown
man? Okay.
Well, it's Rome. Of course I've seen it. Come on, it's Rome.
Right?
Of course I've seen a grown man league. Okay. Anyway.
Isn't there a Turkish prison thing? Like,
right. Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. The commander took him by the hand, stepped aside, and began asking him privately. You like it when a dog holds on your legs? All right. What is it that you have reported to me? What is it? I read that already. And he said, the Judean leaders have agreed to ask you to bring Paul down to the Sanhedrin tomorrow, as if they were about to investigate it more thoroughly about it. But do not give in to them, for more than 40 of them have bound themselves by an oath to not eat or drink until they have killed him. Even now, they are ready and waiting for your consent. So the commander dismissed the young man, charging him, tell no one what you have informed me about these things. Calling two of his centurions, he said, at the third hour of the night, prepare 200 soldiers. Woo! Right?
Yikes.
200 soldiers and 200 spearmen. 200 soldiers along with 70 horsemen and 200 spearmen to proceed as far as Caesarea. Also, provide mounts for Paul to ride, so that he might be brought safely to Felix, the governor. He wrote a letter to this effect from Claudius Lysias to the most excellent governor, Felix. What's up? Greetings. It says greetings.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This man was seized by the Judean leaders and was about to be killed by them. When I came onto the scene with the soldiers and rescued him, having learned that he is a Roman citizen, desiring to know the charge of which they were accusing him, I brought him down to the Sanhedrin. I found that he was accused concerning issues of their law, but charged him with nothing worthy of death or imprisonment. All right. When I was informed that there was a plot against this man, I sent him to you immediately, also ordering his accusers to state before you what they have against him. So the soldiers, in keeping with their orders, took Paul and brought him by night to Antipatris. Antipatris means for his father. On the next day, they returned to headquarters, leaving the horsemen to go with him. When they came to Caesarea and delivered the letter to the governor, they also presented Paul before him. Upon reading the letter, the governor asked what province he was from. When he learned that Paul was from Cilicia, he said, I'll give you a hearing when your accusers have arrived also. Then he gave orders for Paul to be guarded in Herod's Praetorium. All right, y'all.
Praetorium.
Acts 23. Can you dig it?
Wow.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that was a wonderful fellowship. We actually did it on YouTube.
Right? Yeah.
Once we got through all the equipment, so-called failures. And...
Right? I know, right? Any Facebook peeps out there? Sorry, and the feed is like really small, so I can't really see it. If I look at it, I'm gonna be like this, and my eye gonna be all up in the camera.
Yeah, we do, but everybody's under like a different name.
Right.
So I think I'm the only one under my real name, and my dorky office manager picture is up there, which I forgot.
So fine. Right.
Aircraft Sparky has been so kind to tell people about your book, and
thank you.
He's just so kind. And
audiobook
show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're on his show.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, and then the audiobook. I'm still working on it. That's a tedious process.
Yeah, but it's gonna be great.
But I'm liking how it's coming out, y'all. But I'm still at it. Yeah.
So where can people find the book and your music?
In the meantime, bronzeserpentmedia.com, y'all. And we pray for the ability to keep on going. That involves if the Lord has moved you in that you enjoy what it is that he pipes through us.
Yes.
We hope that you support. As the saying goes, the message is free. Delivering it is not. So to keep this going, because y'all, we need competition against what the left wing is doing.
Amen.
This in the ZOpium Den and the ZOloft and stuff like that. It's still a platform of pretty much just it's reasoning with people, right? It's a lot of that. And remember, y'all, we're dealing with a culture that reason it doesn't really go that far with them. They're not reasonable people. They're in imagination land. So y'all, that's why I'm trying to get the support, y'all. I want to be able to develop my production company. Grassroots, man. Let's show that there's a demand for it in the market. I mean, make it really organic. Make it real, right? What the liberals have, that it's not real. They don't have. It's like they don't even get they're not even relying on money from America to promote their so-called values.
That's true.
They get their money from overseas and all that sort of stuff because what they believe is we got this silent majority. I get that, y'all, but don't underestimate the nuisance of a noisy minority.
Oh boy!
Just because they're in the minority, they make a lot of noise and they can do a lot of damage, right? And their support to what they're doing isn't really real. It's not real. That's why they got to get their support by means of endowment of the arts, because their stuff doesn't really hold up in the free market, so they get their money from other places, and they're able to promote their narrative with eye candy.
Yeah.
Right? They make, they make gorgeous cinematography and stuff like that, and lots of special effects and whatnot, convoluted stories of intrigue and whatnot to engross people. And and on its surface, all that stuff can be very, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Really
entertainment.
Yeah. And and as I was saying in another video, when people say that Hollywood doesn't have any imagination, it's like, no, dude, Hollywood's got too much imagination.
Amen.
Way too much, and they're driven by that.
Yep.
So, but y'all, we need competition for it. Is that going to be like the answer to everything? No, but y'all, we need more tools.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Trust me, y'all, the entertainment industry in the hands of Christian conservatives ain't gonna save America. Trust me. Right? That ain't what I'm saying at all. Because like I said, America's already been saved. The whole world's already been saved. It's just our job to let the world know that it has been.
Amen.
Right? We can't save the world. Trump can't save the world, stuff like that. God bless him, Godspeed to him, and all that sort of stuff. You know what I'm saying. I voted for him. I'll be happy to vote for him again. But my salvation, America's salvation, ain't in Trump. It's in Jesus Christ. Right? And our job is to let folks know that you're saved already. Just accept it.
Humble yourself and accept it.
Humble yourself and accept it. But that being said, the Lord does still tell us to be compelling, be salt and light, take this stuff and make it and be creative with it.
Yes.
Right? Make it delicious. That's what salt is for. Salt is to make stuff delicious. All right. And we're supposed to make tasty, arguments and place them in different things, and that's why, and the place that conservatives have not really done this is in the place that liberals have promoted their poison.
Amen.
We don't have the counter to this. So y'all, that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, support. I hope that y'all support because I want to develop that company, and I want to be able to develop and get productions out there. And I don't care if people want to call it proselytizing. I don't care. Right? But I'm going to do it with style and guts, man. It's going to be hot. All right. Tap into that imagination to be able to convey the truth to folks. So I would really like to be able to do that to get some yardage. Is it going to fix everything? Heck no. No, not even close. Right. But, the point of it is to try to do what we can to preserve. Right. That's part of the game.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say game. It's part of the war.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it is the spiritual war.
Yeah, we're trying to fight to keep what God blessed us with.
Yeah.
And we need every resource that we can get. And the resource that we haven't used is the vehicle of imagination.
Amen. Entertainment.
We need it. So please, I hope y'all visit my site. Tweet my stuff. Encourage folks to grab, music from my band, 20 Pound Sledge, get my book, Solid Right Cross, so you can get that culture war coaching, right?
Yes.
It's talking because, a lot of conservatives out there, how do we tap into the culture? How is it that Democrats are able to lie to people so, right? How do we get our message? Just read this. It gives you the heads up on all this stuff. Why it's so hard to get through to these people? What are the things that's getting in the way of them receiving the truth?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this book. Right. I mean, all that stuff has really already been answered in here. The Word of God has already told us.
Yes.
Right. But. Right. So just bear that in mind, y'all. I hope you guys support bronzeserpentmedia.com. I hope you guys will find this works worth supporting, giving monthly support. And hopefully, the Lord will increase the territory of Bronze Serpent Media. Right? All right, y'all. Blessings and rock on. Sledge on.